What are the effects of a expansionary fiscal policy to fight recession? What's the effect on interest rates, on the federal government's budget, on business investment demand, on the value of the US dollar in the currency exchange market, and on exports and imports? Clearly, the expansionary policy to fight a recessionary gap would be an increase in aggregate demand, which of course increases the price level. When there's an increase in demand, what happens to the money market? There will be an increase in demand for money. Not supply, but demand for money. Supply of money is controlled by monetary policy through the banks and the Federal Reserve. So an increased spending program will cause an increase in demand for money, thereby increasing the interest rates to interest rate 2. How do businesses make decisions? In other words, what does their price axis look like? Clearly, businesses care about the cost of borrowing. They need to know what the interest rates are. Of course, in this case, when there's an increase in interest rates, there's going to be a decrease in the amount that businesses want to spend in terms of higher interest rates, raising the cost of borrowing. However, businesses don't necessarily stop there. They have to also look on what we call return on investment, profit expectations. Would you borrow money at 90% if the return on investment was 500%? Absolutely. Would you borrow money if the interest rates were 0? If the return on investment was negative 10%? Absolutely not. So businesses look at both variables, cost of borrowing through the interest rate and the return on investment, also known as the profit expectations. How does an expansionary fiscal policy affect the international value of the dollar? Well, if there's an increase in spending in the United States, there's going to be an increase in demand for the US dollar. If we trade with Japan, that means the dollar value in terms of the yen is going to appreciate. It's going to be a stronger currency, meaning it's going to take more yen to buy one US dollar. What impact does that appreciating currency that was caused by the expansionary fiscal policy have on exports and imports? Clearly, if US dollar gets stronger, increases compared to the yen, it's going to make US goods more expensive, so the Japanese will buy less US goods, indicated that exports will decrease. On the other hand, it's a better deal in the United States to buy the depreciated yen. You'll get a better deal, more yen, less dollars to buy the yen, and therefore imports will increase. If you can follow the relationships and follow the steps using supply and demand of other markets, you can explain how an expansionary fiscal policy will affect deficit, interest rates, investment, value of the dollar, exports and imports in the global market.